Before we get into the process of getting your firearm back in Oregon, let's start with a quick reminder of how your gun might be taken in the first place. In Oregon, firearms are most commonly confiscated due to a red flag order, officially called an extreme risk protection order. They can also be seized in connection to domestic violence arrests or restraining orders, or taken during a criminal investigation, even if you're not ultimately charged. Or a firearm surrendered because of mental health holds under arrest 426. In the next few minutes, we're going to lay out exactly what Oregon law requires, how you make your case for getting your firearm back, and what real Oregon case law tells us about your rights. This is The Right Slant. Let's get into it. Under Oregon law, a firearm can be seized temporarily or held in evidence when an extreme risk protection order is issued. Anyone from law enforcement to a family or household member can petition, and a judge can approve a temporary 1-year firearm prohibition. Firearms can also be seized in domestic violence-related arrests or restraining orders if officers believe they're necessary for safety. Courts can require firearm surrender within 24 hours of a protective order. Guns may be taken as evidence during criminal arrests or investigations until the case is closed. And finally, mental health holds under arrest 426.130 allow seizure if officers believe a person is a danger to themselves or others. Confiscation does not mean forfeiture. This is critical because every type of confiscation has its own return process. For evidence holds, you must wait until the case is dismissed, completed, or the district attorney releases the property. If it's an ERPO, you must petition the court. For domestic violence orders, you cannot regain the firearm until the order expires or is dismissed. And for a mental health hold, you must receive documentation clearing you under ORS 426. Oregon law requires police agencies to return firearms unless you're prohibited under state or federal law, currently under an ERPO or restraining order, or part of an ongoing criminal investigation. Most departments require a written request, often citing ORS 133.633 as their authority. ORS 166.412 requires a full firearms background check before a police agency can release your firearm. The agency has 30 days to do this unless there is a legal reason to delay. Under ORS 166.274, any Oregon resident prohibited from possessing a firearm can petition the circuit court to restore their rights, unless the prohibition is federal. You can challenge an ERPO or denial. You can request a hearing within 30 days of the order. At the hearing, the petitioner must prove by clear and convincing evidence that you pose a risk. If they fail, your firearms must be returned. In State v. Hess, police seized firearms during a domestic disturbance investigation. The defendant argued the seizure violated his rights. The court held that firearms can only be seized without a warrant when officers have probable cause plus exigent circumstances, not just a general safety concern. Takeaway: police must justify the seizure. They can't take firearms on a just-in-case basis. In JCV, State of Oregon, a man successfully appealed an ERPO when the petitioner failed to meet the clear and convincing evidence standard. The court emphasized that ERPOs are temporary and narrow, and judges must rely on concrete evidence, not speculation. Takeaway: if the evidence is weak, the court must return the firearm. You have several important rights when trying to reclaim your firearm in Oregon. These include the right to written notice if your firearm is being held, and the right to a hearing if it's an ERPO or a protective order. You also have the right to request an explanation for any denial, and the right to appeal both firearm return denials and ERPOs. Crucially, you have the right to counsel, and in some cases, to present witnesses and evidence. Document everything. Keep receipts and property logs. If this breakdown from The Right Slant is helping you understand your rights in Oregon, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Always get a property receipt when your firearm is taken. File your return request as early as possible. Check your eligibility through Oregon State Police's Firearms Unit if unsure. Bring government ID, proof of ownership, and any court documents clearing you. And remember, Oregon law requires agencies to return firearms unless they have a legal reason not to. Your rights matter, and understanding the firearm return process in Oregon can make all the difference. I'm your host from The Right Slant, and as always, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay empowered.